Good morning, everybody. It's Monday, April 28th. Man, we are just right around the corner from May. Can you believe it? It's going to be beautiful today. Where I'm at, it's going to be like almost 80 degrees. Going to get out there, plant some flowers, throw some mulch down, all kinds of fun like that. But anyway, hope you're doing well today. I think we're finally here in the spring and all that good kind of stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, so it's good. And life is good. I hope life's good on your end. I really do. Things moving along and that kind of stuff. Decided to throw it all out here outside. Kind of start the outside season for the vidcast and everything. So, yeah, so here we go. It's good. Got the pool open, ready to fly. The other day, I don't know if I told you this or not, but the other day I was looking outside and it was chilly, kind of like it is this morning, but the pool was just steaming, and I realized, why is it steaming so bad? I mean, it's normally, I had the heater going, it was like at 90 degrees. The pool was 90 degrees. It was like ridiculous. So anyway, good morning, Rhonda. Blessings on you. Happy Monday to you as well. So anyway, yeah, so life's good. Anyway, I had a question for you. What ticks you off? I was wondering about that. I don't know if you can put it in the chat as you're there, but what really frustrates you or ticks you off? Just put it there in the chat, and we'll kind of talk about that every morning. But anyway, if I haven't got a chance to meet you, my name's Jay. My wife Vicki and I, we lead this amazing church called The Gate, Northwest Indiana, Chicagoland area. Loving what we're doing. Come to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday just to kind of give you a thought, maybe a challenge, but mainly just to encourage you to say, hey, you're not alone, and we're doing this together. And so that's what we do. We say we're located or based we're in Northwest Indiana, Chicagoland area, but really just all over, challenging people to go and be, just put a faith community right there in your neighborhood. Be a witness right there, a light in your neighborhood. Be a hub of the love of Jesus right there. So that's kind of what we do. Anyway, so yeah. So I had this thought, and I've been kind of going through this idea, and I don't know about you, but I can let things really irritate me very quickly. My mother-in-law used to always say, Jay, if you can get through Jay's, and his little rant or whatever, yeah, he kind of comes out with some good things every once in a while. But I've really learned a lot of that, and I titled this one, They Don't Care, because Marcus Aurelius had this great quote, the Stoic emperor of Rome, one of the last great, I think he's considered the last great emperor, and he really was. But it says, you shouldn't give circumstances the power to rouse anger, for they don't care at all. And I can tell you, when I was younger, man, things would just irritate me. We had this VCR, and I could not get this VCR to fix or anything else, and try to, I don't know if it was a tape was jammed, or I just don't remember what it was. And I went, bam, and just punched the top of it, and it dented it in enough that it just ruined the whole machine. You couldn't get the tape out. It was all, and it was like, my wife, she just looks at that kind of stuff going like, do you have any idea how foolish you are that you're getting mad at an inanimate object? It has no feeling. When you punched it, all the pain that was in that moment was in your hand. It did nothing. I mean, the VCR is not even, when I say VCR, for those of you that was the old kind of tape thing. Anyway, videotape. And you feel kind of stupid afterwards. I mean, just all that kind of stuff. Somebody cuts you off, and you're like, and you just get upset. That circumstance really doesn't care. It doesn't matter if you've been stuck in traffic, or you're fuming because you're too late and you're running too late, or maybe someone snapped at you at work. Whatever the case is, when you get upset at that circumstance doesn't care. It has absolutely no feeling. It's inanimate. Good morning, Adam. Blessings on you today. Thanks for being here. And I think that what Marcus Aurelius was pointing out is just simply, there's no point in you getting mad, because they don't care if you're mad. The circumstance doesn't care. It's just a circumstance. And I think so many times we give things our emotions, and we let them control our situation or our emotions, our anger, and all of that kind of stuff. we give that over to something that literally has no ability to control it, because it's just it's a circumstance. And I love that. And in fact, a lot of times the scripture is really strong in those areas. That scripture that, whether it's you'd planned a beach day and it's raining. The other day I was all ready to go and do a bunch of stuff, and we got I got some flowers set out that I'd been nurturing all winter long in my study, and got them going. And I put them outside, and I put them out too early, and the next morning they're all wilted over, and it got too cold. And now they're just sitting there brown, and I just set the pot aside, and I was so frustrated, but it was nothing. Can you get mad at the weather? I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, it just doesn't work like that. And I think so many times we deal with that whole idea on that, and the reality is Proverbs 15:1 says, "Be slow to anger." It says, well, no, Proverbs 15:1 is a gentle response to something, or a gentle reaction. A gentle response is much better than going on down and giving a harsh answer, because the harsh answer stirs things up. Even when you're ranting or upset in a circumstance, it's not the circumstance that gets upset, because it can't. You can't get upset. It's not laughing at you. The circumstance is not laughing. The rain is not laughing. It's not personal. It didn't wake up going like, okay, I'm going to piss Jay off today. It's not the point. And too many times we take circumstances that we cannot do a thing about. We can't. And the reality comes down to, in Proverbs 15:1, just saying, have a gentle response, because the response that you have, the reaction, the anger, the rant, that doesn't stir up those circumstances. It stirs up those around you. They don't feel safe. They don't feel like you have it under control. And I think that's something that is so hugely important. And I love the kind of the method that we that it talks about, just kind of the idea to listen. James 1:19 and 20, it says, "Be slow to speak, quick to listen, and then don't rush to the anger." And granted, there's times where the anger is going to happen. I mean, Jesus got angry in the temple, but it was something he could do about, and it wasn't the circumstance. If you really see what Jesus did, we just passed by Easter and Palm Sunday and everything else. But if you realize how Jesus did it, he saw what was going on in the temple, and then he left. He come in on Sunday morning, that triumphal entry, and he walks in, and he rides in on the donkey, and then he's going around, he's talking to Pharisees, and he's saying things like, these rocks are going to cry out if you don't, yada, 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 all that stuff. And then he goes away, and he spends a night over in Bethany with his friends, and it says he goes out into the wilderness, and he fashions a whip. That anger that he had was not an anger in reaction. That anger, and it never even says in the Bible, don't be angry. It goes, be slow to anger. Be quick to listen. He listened to what was all going on, and he got alone, and he kind of took a pause. In other words, he recognized that the anger